All right, Rapid. We are back for game number 2 in this best of 3 series between University of Wisconsin Platteville and Columbia College. My name is Joshua Fekesquest. I just said his name a moment ago, but I'll say it again. Reed Rapid Melton is here with me, and what a game number 1 was! That was a massive bloodbath.
Woo! Yeah, what a wild ride, man. That is certainly a roller coaster. And we're coming back for game number 2 to kind of whet your appetite here. We've got Columbia College versus University of Wisconsin Platteville. And Platteville Sheriff Department better be called to the scene because that was a little bit of a massacre. I've been watching Fargo lately, scenes from that movie all through game number 1. Now, we're getting into game number 2, Fekez, and we're already see some reactionary bans. Standard things like the Camille and Malzahar being taken off the board, but nice to see that Jace taken away from Misty Stumpy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to have too much of a problem filling that one. And LeBlanc also banned away here, and this one, of course, by University of Wisconsin. And then Zyra taken away from J-Rod. So the exact same bans as last time from Columbia College. The only change-up was that Jace. And honestly, out of all the bans he could have had, Jace, I mean, yeah, Misty Stumpy did great on Jace, but there were so many other factors in that game that this pick and ban phase was going to be near impossible outside of just having a better pick and ban phase yourself, and of course getting into the game, and obviously just outplaying Columbia College. So University of Wisconsin Platteville, it's hard for them to. If I were in their shoes, it'd be really hard for me to come back from that and just see what.
Well, wait, what? Wait a second, Vekez.
Mundo.
You know, if I had to pick one champion that looked exactly like my co-caster Fekez, it would be Dr. Mundo. Locked in right now.
Purple is my favorite color. Is that purple or pink? I'm actually part colorblind.
I'm pretty sure that's purple. I actually used to get both of those colors mixed up. Well, yeah, there you go. Dr. Mundo, locked in. What world are we living in? One thing's for sure, if you play Mundo into like Scion, then you just have, a free lane. But it looks like that's going to get locked in. But more importantly, Fekez, we are going to get a chance to witness the greatness that is Hollywood's Ahri. So super excited for that. And RJ not going back to the Rengar, even though it's still left open. He's going to be hitting up a Kindred.
And I actually like that because he did so well on the Rengar. I mean, at the end, he was just jumping into whatever he could, no matter what. We know he can play that. He knows he can play that. So why not take this opportunity? You have one game to spare here. If you have to lose this game, you can still pick it back up in a game number 3. Why not practice something that might be maybe need a little bit more work or something a little bit more team coordination here? And that is, I would assume, why he picked up the Kindred, going to be just practicing something else here. And yeah, like you said, Hollywood on the Ahri, that's going to be really exciting. We saw Fo and Flame have some decent plays, but it was just a little bit too much for any one individual on the side of Platteville to really contend with. But on the other side, or speaking of Platteville, I should say, not on the other side, Oriana locked in by Fo and Flame, one of his main champions, actually, and that's going to pair very well with Dr. Snuffles on the Hecarim. And now that we mention it, Rengar is locked in, so my theory is all out. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore.
Whoa.
Kindred, who knows where that's going.
That's actually really interesting. That might be a top lane Kindred. When you think about it, the on-hit % health damage goes very well against Dr. Mundo. So I'm actually really excited to see the possibilities here because we do have that Rengar still locked in. And, maybe that was a little bit of a bait to see, hey, we can make them think that we're going to run the Kindred and then pick up Rengar a little bit later on. So actually really interesting. And of course, also interesting is this AD carry pickup of Ezreal, one that, has come in and out of the meta, but just really hasn't been seen a whole lot lately.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that maybe they were going to do something a little cheeky and put Artemis on the Kindred, but with the Ezreal locked in, that's pretty much solidifying that Artemis is going on the Ezreal. I think you're right then. Yeah, that just leaves a support, and that would be for Dean to lock in with Kindred going into the top lane, presumably, and Rengar going back into the jungle. So, I mean, that's interesting. I don't know what to think of it. We're going to have to see how it works out here because it is a Kindred against a Mundo, and Kindred does do a lot of % health damage. So, I mean, I guess it might make sense on paper as far as damage output, but once again, Columbia College, they prove they don't really need it, but this game, again, they don't have a front line, and I guess, they do have a little bit of the respite from, a reset from Kindred's respite. We're going to see how that one works out. Nestle going to be locking in the Ashe again. Karma locked in by J-Rod. J-Rod does play a lot of Karma. Dean, I would love to see a Heimerdinger, because why the hell not?
Sorry about that, Fekez. It's not going to be a Heimerdinger. I mean, as cool as
Think
Dean
so?
is, then I don't know. It's 100% not Heimerdinger. Oh, if it is Heimerdinger, then that's like a placeholder. But
Okay,
most
well, it's
likely,
a
it's not gonna.
severe. So now, what do you think of
What?
that?
Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
right. They have three ADCs on their team, by the way. Like,
okay.
what is it? Three
All right.
assassins, four ADCs, three ADCs.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Well, Fekez, this is going to be a little interesting. If they don't drop the lobby here and do a remake and say that was maybe like a mispicked champion, I'm going to be a little bit surprised because this is so interesting to me. In fact, they do have about 10 more seconds where they can still swap champions around. So it's coming down to it. This will be I thought game number one, Fekez, was quite interesting. This game,
Well,
I don't know, man.
Baron should go down real fast,
Okay.
right?
Well, my question is who tanks Baron?
Just throw down the
like,
respite. It's all good.
okay, that's how it works.
Strats.
I mean, that works on Baron too. You can't kill Baron while it's down. So,
Yeah.
well, there you
I
go,
got nothing,
Fekez.
man. I don't know. All right.
That is gonna be it. So, while we are thinking about what on earth is about to happen here, while we're strapping ourselves in, I don't know if your chair comes with a seatbelt, but if it does, put it on. We are on in for a wild ride. And of course, here to take us through those wild rides are some of the greatest sponsors around, Fekez. That's going to be Band Gaming. If you guys didn't hear Fekez's earlier shout out to Band, you can go over to band.us and experience the social app that the CSL uses this season. It's great for coordinating your friends. It's got message boards, calendars, polls, chat. Recently just added voice to it as well. So if you want an app to get you and your friends together to play, Band Gaming is a great place to do that. You can download its app at the Google Play Store or Apple Store, or of course online at band.us. And of course, you're watching this here on twitch.tv. Nothing but gratitude to them for helping us out this season with tons of different events and, of course, bringing you this ULoL campus series. And, of course, last but definitely not least, I want to welcome back Asus, the CSL family this season. Thank them for providing us with tons of support as well as great products like monitors, laptops, routers, graphics cards, motherboards, and more. So definitely make sure to head over and check out Asus and thank them for helping us put on these shows for you guys. And of course, big thanks to everybody out there for making the right decision with your weekend, weekday, weeknight, whatever it is. Thanks for coming out and tuning in to this CSL broadcast. We're going to take a quick break, Areno, and when we come back, we're going to be into game number 2 in our ULoL Campus Series between Columbia College and University of Wisconsin-Platteville.
Only $14.99.
Don't miss the call. Download Band. Communication made easy.
are back for game number 2 in this best of 3 between Columbia College and University of Wisconsin Platteville. Oh boy is right, because we have a severe support Kindred jungle, which isn't too bad, but because of that we have Missy Stumpy in the top lane on Rengar. So,
oh boy, yeah.
Oh boy is right.
There are a few things to mention here, Fekez. So just to get them out of the way first, it is going to be top lane Rengar, and more likely than not, this might actually be, like more of a hybrid Rengar. I still think it's totally AD, but there's this voice in the back of my brain that says we could bring in some AP there. Probably not going to see that. So yeah, it is going to be an AD Rengar in the top lane. We get a chance to see Misty Stumpy, what he can do there. We get to see Hollywood's Ari in the mid lane. And of course, Dean, he's picking up a lot of kills last game. This time around, he might be able to put them to use a little bit more. Also, he is running Spell Thief's Edge because he's going to be getting free boomerang harassment. So he's going to be stacking up a lot of gold off of item. Also of note, didn't know if anybody caught this last game, but I should definitely apologize. I attributed the ancient Greek aphorism, know thyself, to Aristotle, who is not even from the right time period. According to the Greek writer Parnasius, the aphorism came from Luxor, ancient Egypt. Also an incredibly good PopCap game, so if you guys have ever played that, go check it out. Either way, it's a cool saying, and it's definitely something that we're going to get a chance to see if Wisconsin Platteville know not only themselves, but also how to pick up a win here in game number 2.
The more you know, Rapid. That was good.
Hey, this is collegiate esports, Fekez. Who says this can't be educational too?
I love it. I would talk about black holes all day long, especially at Syndra here. Even though she doesn't use black holes, she uses dark energy spheres. They're kind of like black holes. They're really not though. And it always kind of toyed with my emotions on that one. But I would talk about astrophysics all day long if I had the opportunity. But there's too much action normally going on. With,
Speaking of physics, I just found out the most interesting pseudoscience of all. It's actually a lethal pseudoscience called I think it's called ableism, or also called breatharianism. It's the belief that humans can be sustained based on air and light. Fekez, people who believe that generally don't stick around too long, because I don't know if you know this, Fekez, but in general, I don't know about this whole sustenance from air and light, although I did forget to eat today, so maybe I'm trying that out a little bit. Either way, let's go ahead and get into this game. Now that we've gotten through our early game with our champions fanned out all across the map, game number 2 coming your way in the ULoL Campus Series between Columbia College and University of Wisconsin Platteville.
Let's point out in the top lane that Mrs. Stumpy actually took Exhaust instead of any sort of offensive ability like Ignite or even a Teleport. So he's gonna have it's gonna be a hard time ganking Mrs. Stumpy, considering Dr. Snuffles goes up there, he's just gonna be exhausted immediately. So I don't think he's gonna have to be using that on Dr. Mundo, but it is interesting that he took an Exhaust, and I want to see how he uses that on a Rengar. But there's a lot of other things to worry about, like we can beat it over the head as much as we need to, because it's still shocking. A severe support, I don't really know how it works. I don't really think it works. I think they're just doing it.
Alright, now here comes... Yeah. There's a very dangerous time right here. Misty Stumpy's going to get his 4th stack of ferocity, and that means that there's a big opportunity to see a possible cheese attempt in here. Yeah, there he is, just getting the double Q off, but you don't fight Mundo early game. It's actually just so devastating, so gonna have to watch out for that one.
And Grass ain't dying, so he's gonna be healing back up as well. So that was not a very good trade for Misty Stumpy. He has to use one of his health pots, one of his 2 health pots, but meanwhile, RJ is picking up his first mark with the Northern Rift Scuttler. So he's going to be getting that passive stack a little bit early compared to the stack. Hold on, Foe and Flame. He's actually taking a lot of damage here. Hold on, these minions did a lot of damage. Charm landing by Hollywood also.
Wow, but here comes RJ.
And there goes RJ, but here comes Dr. Snuffle now. And Dr. Snuffle forces a flash out of Hollywood, but now Misty Stumpy, he is there. And one of the trademarks of Columbia College last game was the roam game. So nice lookout by Misty Stumpy.
Okay, man. I mean, if you guys are like Ultima Shot and you want to see a low kill game this time around, I don't know, you're gonna have to hope a little bit harder, because it does not look like that's about what we're about to see. Now, Granted, by this time in game number 1, we'd already had 3 kills put on the board, so this is a lower kill game, but there's some interesting things to keep in mind. Dr. Mundo versus Rengar matchup is not one that Dr. Mundo has too many troubles with early on. Now, maybe once Misty Stumpy gets the first few kills and picks up the first few item buys, it can change it around, but it's going to take a while before that turns against Unbending Uncle, who, while he is picking a champion that is not necessarily very well known in the top lane this season, he's still doing very well with it.
Yeah, and regardless of what meta Mundo is good in or not good in, he is still pretty much essentially just a dumb frontline tank. I say that very endearingly. I don't mean any malice behind that. He is the Mundo. You've heard his speech and patterns and all that. He is just one of those little meat shields in the front line. He's gonna try to run up to you and just do a bunch of damage over time, not to mention land those big trophies as well. He serves everything he needs to. He doesn't have a root CC like a Maokai or a knockup like a Scion.
Oh man, mid lane, foe and flame. Where's the charm? There it is.
There's the charm, and where was the barrier? There was no barrier pot. Foe and flame. He just gave that first blood over to Hollywood. He used his flash earlier. He still had barrier though, Rapid.
Gotta say, barrier, an underrepresented summoner spell. Just because, actually, bottom lane, RJ!
Peekaboo! Dr. Snuffle, you're dead. RJ finding himself in the right place at the right time with that explosive plant. Very nicely played.
I also want to say that you might think that that's just lucky, but RJ has been doing this both last game and this game as well. He's been hunting down the enemy jungler, not because he knows where he is, but because he tracks him based on jungle camps. Now, bottom lane, RJ coming in.
And this is one thing about having Severe in the bot lane. There's a lot of damage that gets put out, but RJ taking up 2 of those turret shots needs to be careful. Almost goes down. One more turret shot would have given a kill over to University of Wisconsin Platteville, but he makes it out. He's going to go back to his jungle. He still can heal up a little bit. And maybe when he hits level 6, he can do those dives a little bit better.
One big, nerf to this matchup for Rengar is that his Battle Roar no longer works exactly the same way. Right now, it heals half the damage that you took in the last 1.5 seconds, so you can't just use it for AFK lane sustain. You actually have to take damage and heal that back, and it still won't overheal you. It only heals half the damage done. So previously, Rengar, even AP Rengar, could get infinite healing in lane out of that, kind of like Tryndamere or AP Tryndamere could, but now it no longer works that way. So you're going to see Misty Stumpy taking more and more trips back to base, even though it's Rengar and he's playing an aggressive matchup. He's not going to be able to stay up there very long because Dr. Mundo does definitely outsustain.
Yeah, and that is a huge disadvantage to him if he has to keep going back. He doesn't have a teleport to work with. He has Thrill the Hunt, and he can run to the lane a lot faster. If he wants to use that Thrill the Hunt to roam to another lane or even try to take Dr. Snuffles out in his own jungle. So he's every time he goes back, he's going to be missing some experience, going to be missing some CS. It's not too bad here. I'm thinking Uncle actually left it in a pretty decent spot for Stumpy to go back to, so...
I was just going to say that Unbending Uncle actually did leave that lane in a position where it would push, and so Rengar returning to lane means that it's actually going to be Platteville that loses a little bit of XP in the top lane. That allows Misty Stumpy to roam into the jungle, get the jump over the wall, and now Dr. Snuffles might be in trouble.
Yeah, Throw the Hunt is still up, Exhaust is still up too, but he is not going to be able to get away from Misty Stumpy. Dr. Snuffles, he goes down at his own blue buff. 2 kills already, 2 deaths I should say already in this game.
Why do you walk back towards the bush against a Rengar? I mean, you're not going to make it out. Meanwhile, mid lane, 0-1 Flame, definitely going to have a little bit of a rough time of his own there, and we've still got action up top.
RJ, he's on the chase. He's level 6. I don't know if they want to turret dive this because Unbending Uncle's level 6. Hollywood dodging the shockwave and picking up a kill of his own in the mid lane. 0-1 Flame, 0-2-0 now with a pretty huge deficit in the CS as well.
Ooh, that was just a masterclass play by Hollywood. School's in session now. Through the turret, RJ going to jump in onto Unbending Uncle.
Alright, there's the sadism pop, but it's not going to be enough. Barely in the nick of time respite going down, and a flash with the heal to dodge the damage from the turret. Very nicely played by Misty Stumpy and RJ. That was just in the nick of time.
They actually didn't need to use that flash there. They could have timed it perfectly to get out, but better safe than sorry. Very, very well outplayed there. Very, very well played, very well outplayed. Just dive in the turret straight up. You can't heal through that, Dr. Mundo.
And now Stumpy and RJ there going to go back As the teleport was used by Unbidden Uncle, so the turret is not going to go down in the top lane. A ward is thrown down. I believe that was by Stumpy, right in the middle of the lane. Just to see where he's at, even when the turret is shoved into Columbia College's side here. RJ gonna go on to the Golems here. Take those out one by one. It's actually really easy to do those with the Kindred, due to the dancing arrows. Get quite a bit of damage onto him.
Yeah, Kindred really not a very meta jungler these days. I mean, you try to play things like Kha'Zix or Rengar or any of these aggressive junglers against Kindred, you just get rolled over as Kindred. So not necessarily very common, but especially in this game, going to actually do a decent amount of damage, especially since we're seeing a tanky Hecarim as well as a big super tank in the top lane. Kindred, one of the only real champions in League of Legends that's definitely capable of taking them down.
Yeah, and speaking of Hecarim, Dr. Snuffles actually upgraded his health potion pot instead of deciding to just sell that one for the extra bit of gold. It's going to help delay his build just a little bit longer. Hold on, there's some mid lane action here. Spirit Rush is coming out. Hollywood, he just needs one more auto attack. He's not going to be able to do it. He gets out of the turret range just in time, though.
How did he survive that? I thought Hollywood was just going to die there. And even still might go down.
Of the shadows.
So close.
Yeah, forces a flash. Hollywood is going to get out of there. So almost died twice within the last 30 seconds. He needs to be careful. He's flirting with death here.
This is a little bit ridiculous, but knowing that the mid lane had to recall, Dr. Snuffles actually was supposed to go into the bottom jungle and die, but he's actually a little too smart for guys like RJ. He just wards it and backs away. We'll give up his Raptors there, so good job there by RJ. Good job by Dr. Snuffles, not putting himself in a needlessly difficult position. And now bottom lane, that's where RJ is looking toward.
Yeah, he is roaming his way down there. Has his respite up. J-Rod, he's ready for him though. Cast the respite. He might be in trouble here. Nestle, he's trying to get into the face of RJ. Crystalline Arrow being put onto Dean. He just eats that one up. He's going to throw his boomerang here. True Shot Barrage going down. Not going to pick up a kill. So very nicely scouted by J-Rod. RJ walking into, I wouldn't say a trap, but a nice plant by J-Rod. Able to scout out RJ's aggression on behind the turret there. But meanwhile, in the mid lane, turret does go down. So first turret gold going over to Columbia College once again in game number 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, one thing's for sure, Fekka, is this is a much lower kill game than game number 1, so slowing things down, definitely a better way to play here for our good buddies at Wisconsin Platteville. Now, right as I say that, they're actually going to start to, feel some struggles as Dean's support Sivir bounces through for his first kill of the game and makes this a 6-0 score. But at the same time, like I said, still slowing things down here. Just need to make sure to get themselves on the board to kind of stem the tide of bleeding.
Bot lane being pushed in right now. Canyon Minion is there, but they don't want to go for it just yet. They're actually going to go for the dragon, it looks like. And yeah, that is exactly what they're going to be doing. Actually, it is worth noting, last game, Columbia College, they did not pick up a dragon. The only 2 dragons that were picked up were by Wisconsin, but this time around, first turret, first kill, all the kills, and first dragon, all going over to Columbia College. So working on the objective control, not getting as aggressive as last game. Like you said there, it is a lower kill count game, but still heavily in favor and in control, being controlled by Columbia College.
Yeah, this time around, it's kind of more the tortoise than the hare. We got a chance to see that one in game 1. Here in game number 2, definitely taking it slow and steady. Now mid lane, Hollywood's gonna be feeling some pressure. Unfortunately, Unbending Uncle and Dr. Snuffles just walked by a control ward, so they will be disengaged.
Pressure relieved. Misty Stumpy is there. Just gonna go after the poor Rift Scuttler. Doesn't really have anything to do with it, I guess. Who's that picked up by?
Yeah, he gives it over to RJ
because
I'm actually kind of interested in that. I mean, he does get a lot of gold for picking that up, so trying to get him ahead, doing just as good a job as he did in game number 1, and just barely there in time to steal. Oh, actually, he did not get the steal on the blue ball. He's got his own.
Artemis Arcane shifted. Artemis Arcane shifted into J-Rod and then flashed out. That was. I don't know if that was a misplay or just a They're just, playing around. But whatever the beaters have made, J-Rod, he's being chased down. He gets taken down. Hollywood picking up that kill. Is it going to be a double kill, or is Dean able to pick up that kill? Nice Spirit Rush. That may have been the maximum amount of Spirit Rush over a wall you can possibly get, and he used that perfectly, picking up a double kill onto Nestle.
Top lane, Misty Stumpy's going to get the Rift Herald buff there as well. That Glimpse of the Void. He'll have that for another 20 minutes. Ghost being popped there by RJ. He does have that on Kindred, which is a little bit strange. Going on, and Dr. Snuffles running away there, but he is not going to be able to make it out alive. Now unbending Uncle onto RJ. There's that Lamb's Respite popped. It's going to be interesting to see if RJ can make it out. Does dodge that Infected Cleaver, but it's taken down by Masochism.
And that was actually really interesting. RJ could... Hold on. Stumpy's now in the mix here. No more Masochism. Or I think it's actually Sadism, I believe. The ultimate for is the Dr. Mundo. It doesn't matter. He may go down. There's a flash and a flash bola response by Misty. He picks up the kill but goes down. J-Rod picking up that kill. 1/3 of the team's kills for University of Wisconsin. Meanwhile, Hollywood, he's just been shoving this bot lane as J-Rod obviously been shoving his attention to the top lane here. So that is the second turret going down in the game. Both turrets belong to University of Wisconsin, and now that is going to give Columbia College a 2-turret lead, along with over a 7,000 gold lead at this point, before 15 minutes of the game.
Yeah, currently Columbia just saying all your turrets are belong to us. They're taking them down one by one, and interestingly enough, the only outer turret that has yet to go down is that top one, and with that cannon minion wave pushed in, looks like Artemis is going to be able to arcane shift this time correctly in the aggressive direction and take down the third final outer turret there for Columbia. Now, Wisconsin Platteville, I'm just going to call them Platteville from now on out. Platteville has their work cut out for them. They're starting to lose turrets, starting to lose objectives, losing champions, but the game is not over yet by any means, Fekez. Certainly starting to look that way, though.
It's slowly and surely getting a little bit heavier, getting heavier and heavier, maybe possibly too heavy for Platteville, as both mid lane and Nestle goes down.
Oof,
almost simultaneously, yeah.
All right, well, forget my last little bit of analysis.
Yeah.
This does seem fairly dominant, albeit less so. So continual improvements being shown here from Platteville. Just you're gonna have to turn it up a little bit.
Dr. Snuffles cannot wave clear against an Ari. Now that RJ is there, or not RJ, is Dean, cannot wave clear against a Severe either. So this is going to be really hard for any of the members of Platteville to even withstand any of these turret sieges, as they don't have too much wave clear. Foe 1 Flame, he's kind of there, but I mean, you can just dive him at this point. And it looks like 3 mid for Columbia College. And we're actually seeing why Columbia College has been undefeated this entire time. This is a great display of their power.
Beautiful
charm. Nice charm by Hollywood.
Yeah, I've been seeing all these people on Twitter doing these Who's My Valentine's things out there. I'm like, wait a second, it's not even Valentine's. Why are you doing this? Well, if it were Valentine's, then Hollywood's making it look that way. Landing all these charms. Definitely big heart. I made one of those, like, where you twist your pointer finger and your thumb into a little heart. It's super popular over here in Korea. But I made those little heart signs to symbolize my love for Hollywood, who's got a lot of love for diving in for these kills. RJ even going deep for a little bit of kills of his own. He did have his healing reduced, but I don't think that's going to stop him.
He got it. Nice dance of arrows, but he's run over by Dr. Snuffles, and he must have been so satisfied getting that kill.
I mean, that did look pretty satisfying,
yeah, it looked awesome.
Misty Stumpy came in for an equally satisfying kill, but Shockwave actually going to pull him back underneath this turret. He's taking a lot of damage here, and will actually go out. Will he go down, though? Artemis right there trying to turn the damage back. He does get it.
Misty Stumpy taking out that kill with the Bola, and now another Bola onto Foe 1 Flame. Flash and a charm! More of a deception coming out from Hollywood, picking up that kill onto Foe 1 Flame. Now Nestle, he's in trouble. He uses the heal, gets out just barely. J-Rod, not dodging, but standing away from that charm. Very nicely played.
J-Rod, that was impressive. Yeah, now Dr. Snuffles feeling the pressure, going in a little bit overly aggressively, but man, things just do not stop. Finally, the aggression comes to an end, and at the end of everything, Columbia College out on top. We're making the score a big old 420.
There you go. So, college kids, they're having a good time with the numbers here, and it looks like it is starting to get to that point in the game Well, I mean, it happened about 6 minutes sooner last game, but there was a point where Columbia College broke open Platteville's base, and they almost never left their base. They aren't quite getting to that point. They did break open the base, but they left the inhibitor down, opting for the objective control. For I guess the dragon, as the inhibitor is an objective control, but opting for the more conservative route, going for the dragon, going to recuperate, go back and spin their spoils, come back a lot stronger. We haven't even looked at the items here. RJ does have the Blood Razor along with his passive, so has quite a bit of percent health damage. Surprised he didn't go for the first item Blade of the Rune King, but wanted to reduce some of that armor against Unbending Uncle whenever he goes in onto him. So picks up the Black Cleaver. Thrill the Hunt is popped here. Is it gonna go on E1 Rapid? It's under turret.
Huh?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I'm waiting. Misty Stumpy, he's got some time left.
Oh, he's going! He's got it!
Oh my god! That was
and he makes it out!
Damage. Getting in, getting out. A hit and run there from Rengar. More like hit and run Gar. He was he definitely getting those stacks for himself. Currently sitting with I'm actually gonna have to check and see how his Bone Tooth Necklace is gone. He's only at 4 out of 5, so currently 13 plus 13% bonus damage for a total of 300 exactly attack damage there for Misty Stumpy's top lane Rengar.
And that hit and run might have been an understatement there. That was more like a murder and run on that one. He just absolutely destroyed Foe One Flame. Barely even had a chance to blink on that one before his health bar went down. But I'd said in the champion select, the Baron's going to be easy here. And they are pinging it on the side of Columbia College. But they want to take out some kills first here. Dr. Snuffle dies mid-onslaught of shadows. So it's, I guess he was already kind of to the nether realm of hollows. I don't know. I actually don't even know where I guess where the hell or where the afterlife of Runeterra is. But you were talking about in Champions Select also, who's going to
oh my god.
Yeah, who's going to take out Baron? I mean, you have enough lifesteal, you don't need to, don't worry.
Yeah, RJ and Misty Stumpy doing that, able to take it out. Now that will help every single other member of their team have that Baron buff. They have been, as they say, Fekez, exalted by Baron Nashor. That's actually what the old buff used to be called. Now it's just called Hand of Baron Nashor. But now here comes RJ, fresh off doing Baron. Yeah, no, he is trying to get in there, deal the damage, but he is one lonely Kindred out there. Actually, is going to be forced to pop his ultimate. Dr. Snuffles, who's going to come out of this on top? RJ tumbles backwards and picks up the kill.
That was a picture-perfect Lamb's Respite coming out as well. And there's Misty Stumpy jumping on his prey. RJ
He's not stopping yet.
No. Right,
double exhaust there, and he is thwarted from getting the kill, and Benny Uncle flashing back towards his fountain. Fekez just doesn't stop.
Yeah, J-Rod, he was able to stand in his fountain. Yeah, the exhaust did go down onto Misty Stumpy, stop him in his tracks, but it's a little too late. The base is broken wide open, mid and bot lane inhibitor going down. Columbia College, they're going to look to finish this one out, picking up Unbending Uncle on the way out for this game here. And now, Dr. Snuffles, he is back in here. Not too much damage to show for it. He gets exhausted. Artemis, he may go down, but he's going to Arcane Shift back, has the red button.
Oh my
back,
gosh.
pick up that kill. Meanwhile, Nestle going down. Hollywood picking up that kill. Super minions, not quite in base, but the empowered minions are, along with cannon minions. Dean, he's in the back lines. Foe One Flame, he's going down. J-Rod, he wants to keep his KDA. He's been living on that fountain for the last minute or so. And now he's finally coming out, trying to pick up a kill. May actually get it. He does. Minions helping out there, but the Nexus is exposed. Stumpy showing, you step out of that fountain, I'm killing you. And that's exactly what he did. Knife Cat in full effect here as the Nexus goes down. 8-30, 2 games, all the way for Columbia College. And that is going to end this best of 3 series for the Night Rapid.
Wow, Fekez. Not quite the same kill-to-death ratio as we did have in game number 1, but still an over 20,000 gold lead there at the end to close this out with a solid 2-0 victory for Columbia College. And they will not only move from 4-0 to 5-0, but they'll have gone undefeated in their group for the opening part of our group stages here in the University League of Legends. It's ULoL Campus Series. They've just been looking on point. And for Wisconsin Platteville, they did show minor signs of life, but we're just pretty totally outmatched in almost every situation. So got to give some mad props to Columbia College, where if you guys are in that area, you can expect to see some pretty awesome stuff coming up. Columbia College, not a college that I was too familiar with before casting them this season, but Cougar Esports are going to be holding the Midwest Campus Clash coming up here. It's the Midwest's biggest LAN event with a $5,000 prize pool, and of course, we'll be helping them out with them here at the helping them out with that at the CSL. So if you guys want more information, you can head over to our news post on starleague.com or just go check out Midwest Campus Clash at midwestcampusclash.com for more information if you guys are interested in an absolutely gigantic there in the Midwestern United States.
Yeah, definitely check out all of that. Check out our Twitters as well, www.twitter.com/Fekes, and that is going to also be www.twitter.com/rapidcasting. But that's it for us tonight. We want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, just real quick. Asus, Band, and Twitch.tv. Thank you for helping us get through the ULoL Campus Series. It's been a very exciting night, and it's time to call it quits for us. But I think a game is actually going to be on in about 1 hour from now. You can see it on the stream there. It is going to be North Georgia versus Clemson. So stick around and definitely check that one out. Other than that, on behalf of CSL, my name is Joshua Fekes Quest here with Reed Rapid Melton. You folks have a great night, and thank you for joining us. Stick around for another hour for, once again, North Georgia versus Clemson.